Hello everybody, welcome to Short Shot Archery. Today we're going to be taking a look at an affordable Olympic recurve bow. The bow we are going to be using is the Galaxy Crescent riser with some Galaxy Bronze Star limbs. It comes in at a really nice price, about $160. May vary by your region of the world, but I think this is a really great starting bow for a new shooter, especially someone that wants to get into Olympic recurve. So now let's go and put some accessories on this bow and actually turn it into an Olympic recurve bow. First, let's start off with the little things. Now, these little pieces of equipment don't necessarily separate your Olympic recurve from just a recurve bare bow, but it's a good basis to start everything from, because if you want to go the bare bow path or the Olympic recurve, you're probably going to want to have these two pieces of equipment. So first off, we have the arrow rest, followed by the plunger button, we're going to install the plunger button right in the back hole here. So now, the two basic parts of our bow are set up. Besides, putting the limbs in and stringing it, we can actually shoot arrows from this. But let's make this into an actual Olympic recurve. So we need a sight. Okay, so we have the bracket for the sight already mounted to the side of the bow. Now we just put our sight in and we're going to screw it on. Alright, so with our sight secure, we now need a stabilizer. So here is our stabilizer. We're just going to use a front rod. No V-bars this time. I want to keep this a very basic Olympic recurve bow setup. All the equipment on this bow is, well, very affordable. Some of it is probably not actually manufactured anymore because it's some of my original equipment. But basically, you can get yourself an Olympic recurve setup for a fairly affordable price. Down in the description, I will have links to some pieces of equipment, including the limbs and riser, that match up fairly well with the ones I'm showing here. That way you can get an idea on what you may need to really get yourself set up with a basic Olympic recurve setup. So before we get to the fun part of actually shooting this nice bow here, I do want to mention that I did not include a clicker on this because generally when you first start shooting archery, there is no clicker. This riser does have a spot to mount a clicker, so as you progress through learning how to shoot an Olympic recurve, you can mount a clicker on this Galaxy Crescent riser. So now, without further ado, let's get into shooting some arrows. It's a really quick little bow. Now, a few little things, especially for those new archers out there. As you can see, this bow is kind of short. This is a 25-inch riser, which is very standard, but this setup here is with medium limbs. Now, if you're somebody of my height, which is 6 foot, you probably want to go with long limbs for your bow. Now, if you're shorter, say like the 5'5" range, you probably want to go with the 25-inch riser with the medium limbs. Under that, 5 foot or below, you probably want to go the 25-inch riser with the short limbs. Of course, that is up to your discretion and your age and stuff like that, because as a kid, you do eventually grow up. So you may want a bow slightly bigger, or you may not. Like, that is going to be up to you. But I figured I should include that in this video just in case you were curious on the size of this particular bow that I am shooting. Now I hope you can hear that this bow is pretty quiet. It also draws really smooth, which I was impressed with. Yes, It's a lot lighter than my competition bow, which is sitting at about 48 pounds. This bow for me is about 30, maybe a little bit more. I have not weighed it, but this is a really good weight range for somebody that's new to archery. You may even want to go lighter if you're a younger archer, especially if you're a kid or a young adult. As an adult, you could probably start with the 30-pound range or so. Of course, always ask your coach or maybe check out your local shop if you're interested in starting archery and you don't know which weight to start with. Alright, so if you want any more information about the products that I talked about here, or maybe just more information about archery in general, I will have a link to Lancaster for the products. You can also, like when buying products, you can contact them about particular things, like maybe you aren't sure about limb weight or something like that. Also, I'll have a link to USA Archery if you're looking to learn more about just archery in general, especially the Olympic recurve, and the path you can take to try and get to the Olympic Games, if that's something that you're interested in for your future. Other than that, I'm having a blast shooting this really great beginner bow, and hopefully you'll have a blast shooting archery too. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you found this video helpful, and as always, happy shooting.